So this week I took delivery of a great new book. Well, not exactly new. It's an 1873 edition of Enquire Within upon everything. So it's 140 years old. Imagine what this book has gone through. This book has outlived World War One and World War Two, the invention of the television and the internet, and the Titanic sinking. All great world events that this object has survived and is still around today in a readable form. This book, when it was first bought, I imagine it's when it was first bought, was owned by one Elizabeth Simpson, whoever she was. She's lovely. I wish that a book would come with, its life story with who owned it, what they did. There's a lovely little introduction which basically sums the whole book up in a short passage from the editor. Whether you wish to model a flower in wax, to study the rules of etiquette, to serve a relish for breakfast or supper, to plan a dinner for a large party or a small one, to cure a headache, to make a will, to get married, to bury a relative, you need a shovel for that, whatever you may wish to do, make or enjoy, provided your desire has relation to the necessities of domestic life, I hope you will not fail to inquire within. So this book is basically a Victorian guide to, well, everything. Everything you can imagine is in this book. It's brilliant. It also has another claim to fame, a more modern and important claim to fame, that without this book, the chance that I may not be able to talk to you through the internet, because this book was the inspiration for Sir Tim Berners-Lee to create the World Wide Web, because this book, the actual pages, the order in which things are to find things is impossible just by reading the book. Reading through the book does nothing. It's just a pointless exercise, much like reading through the internet used to be before Tim Berners-Lee invented the World Wide Web. What this book does have, however, is a very detailed index of all its various things, and apparently this is what inspired Sir Tim to invent the World Wide Web and HTML and hyperlinks and all that. So I found one rule that you must abide by, that, forever. This is possibly the most important rule in the history of the world. That if you do not follow this rule, you are the most rude person around. And it's in the etiquette section. It's number 1794 in the book. 1794. When you visit a friend, conform to the rules of his household. Yeah, it makes sense. And make sure you lean not upon his tables, nor, and this is the most important bit, rub your feet against his chairs. Never rub your feet against people's chairs. But it's only when you visit a friend, so maybe you can rub your feet against enemies' chairs, or people you just don't know. It doesn't say, but yeah, rubbing feet on chairs in Victorian times, big no-no. Do not do it. Here's another one that's quite useful, that I think you should know. 1734. Children born at sea. If any child of an English parent shall be born at sea on board a British vessel, the captain or commanding officer shall make a minute of the particulars touching the birth of the child. So, if you give birth to a child, the captain has to make a note, just in case somebody forgets. It's important. And the captain shall, on the arrival of the vessel to any part of the kingdom, or sooner, by any other opportunity, so in case of some sort of registrar having to pass by another ship, send a certificate of the birth through the post office, for which no postage will be charged, so free post if it's a certificate of birth, to the Registrar General, General Register Office, London. So, if you ever give birth at sea in Victorian times, that is what you had to do. It was up to the captain, basically. The actual person who gave birth, just, pop it out and get on. Because all these were actual things that people were concerned about. The rules and etiquette are just phenomenal. All the things you should do to when you visit somebody's house, like you should always send an invitation in the afternoon. Must never visit a stranger in the morning, and things like that. And how to hand in your visiting card, and how long you should wait, and what sort of gloves you should wear. It's brilliant. So I'm thinking maybe doing more videos on content of this book, maybe one on etiquette, one on raising children, because there's some different rules on how to raise children. Let's put it that way. If you want to see them, please like and leave some comments so that I know if that would be something people would watch. It might just be me that gets excited by this stuff, I don't know. I also put a link in the comments because as it's an old book, it is available on the Project Gutenberg website in full. So if anyone wants to read it, it's there for free. Or I believe there's a current edition out. Obviously not a current edition, a reprint that's available on Amazon. So I'll put the link there in there as well because it is a fantastic book. And thank you for watching and goodbye.